This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
Sakal CAI. Sakal CAI.
Parking. A couple people parking on the outside.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Dave Ridley here, reporting in from Concord, New Hampshire. I'm here with Dan and AJ, who are going in to do the recount work for the Ron Paul recount, or I guess it's the Albert Howard recount. I'm with Albert Howard here. He's a minor presidential candidate who has commissioned this recount. And what was it that you were asking if I might be able to do?
Say that again. Okay, I'm asking Mr. Ridley if he would be kind enough to follow them and with his camera and just as they're bringing the ballots out.
Okay. Hi. So where are we going right now?
I want to get to action. Oh, you know what? We can't because we were a little bit too late.
So that's what I want to photograph down there? Or?
Well, you can get them as they're coming out. When they come out, there's another gentleman down there with a camera. And what they do when they take them back or they bring them out, we always like to supervise them. There's the Deputy Secretary of State who always initiates the going back in the vault and getting the cameras. I mean, getting the ballots and bringing them out. So.
Right. What are you saying?
For chain of custody, we like to follow them, and they do allow us to do that from going in and coming out from where they have presented the where they keep the ballots.
And so what we were seeing over there as we looked down was them carrying a box of ballots. Was that what we were seeing? And they're going to bring them out here?
Well, they're going to get the ballots that are back here. We're going to do another city. There are different counties that we're going to do. So yes, they'll be on a big puller, and we'll just follow them. Okay. At the end of the day, or when they're completed with them, then we'll bring them back. And we just want to follow them, you know, to make sure that the ballots and the names on the ballot boxes match the county or the ward or the grant.
Okay, so here they come right now. They're coming with the ballots.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll bring them out this door, and I'll photograph that.
Right.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
And then they're being videotaped on the other end.
Deputy Secretary of State David Sakal.
Hi.
And they've got the ballot boxes. We've got the another gentleman who can have the records manager.
I'm the records manager.
Yes. Right. It's ironic.
It's just talking about.
Oh, really? To observe the process, which has not always been free from controversy. This is a video shot last week by Bev from blackboxvoting.org.
It's a different procedure tonight, right? The ballots are being left here instead of in the vault.
Yeah.
Because
we're securing the building.
Bev has claimed that the process is decrepit and vulnerable to being messed with. Her relentless questioning of state officials like Secretary of State Gardner here has attracted over 120,000 hits on YouTube. This is Assistant Secretary of State Scanlon again, and he's responsible for overseeing, to some extent, the recount. He and the Secretary of State did ask him for a comment. He declined to give me one with regard to Bev's video. Says he would be willing to comment after the process is over.
These are overseas citizens' federal election ballots, so the clerk obviously didn't need these. That's for somebody if they...
I don't think we need to open them.
Okay, if they lived in...
Sakal CAI, Sakal CAI, Sakal CAI, Sakal CAI.
The town was this. If they lived in Clarksville, they sold their house.
And we're overseas.
They moved to France.
Right.
They get to vote in the last place.
Sure.
They live in this country.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Good.
Okay.
We'll be waiting for another box or a Joel. Okay, this is to be a little different.
Okay, well now Assistant Secretary Scanlon has agreed to talk with me now just about the process in general. And yeah, tell me a little bit about that if you would.
Well, we're conducting a statewide recount of all the Republican ballots that were cast in New Hampshire's presidential primary. And what that means is we open every ballot box up. Well, first of all, we go out to the towns, we retrieve the ballots from the municipalities, we bring them back here to this facility in Concord, which is secure, and as we go through the towns, we bring a town out, we open the boxes, we spread the contents out on the table. The counters will present the ballots to the observers, the people that are representing the candidate. They will look at the marks on the ballot. Generally, they're going to agree what they mean, and they're going to go in the appropriate piles. If there's disagreement, those ballots are set aside for a further look a little later in the process.
Do you feel that the people who are observing the process are comfortable? I mean, is the process, fairly bulletproof?
Well, I think that the people that are observing are comfortable with what they're seeing. Everything is transparent here as far as what's happening on the table, and so I think the way the votes are being counted, there aren't too many issues with that. I do understand that there are other peripheral issues going on about chain of custody and things like that. I mean, New Hampshire used an optical scan counting machines, and there's a lot of concerns about that, and those are legitimate issues. But as far as the recount goes, we're just the role we're playing is we're simply counting the paper ballots that were cast to see if the results on election night were accurate or not.
All right, Mr. Scanlon, I appreciate your time.
Okay. Yep.
So at each table there is a Ron Paul supporter, it seems like. Here we have Dan from Rhode Island. Over here it's Mark Warden from Manchester. And he's got a teammate this time, looks like John Barnes, who last I heard was vice chairman of the Libertarian Party. I may have that a little bit wrong and a little bit out of date. Got a reporter here from Channel 9, the Manchester TV station, I believe. That's who that is. Now, Channel 9 did get to ask Assistant Secretary Scanlon the question that he wouldn't answer for me, which was, asking them about all these blogs and YouTube reports. And his response was that he is confident in the chain of custody process. He says there have been some minor discrepancies, and he calls them, quote, nothing to get excited about. And that's in terms of the numbers that are coming back from the towns. What were you saying, Dan?
That here in Dummer, it looked like Paul did fairly well. Between Paul and Huckabee's, probably got the most votes. But I do like Dummer, D-U-M-M-E-R, and I do like this voting process. It's just, if you look, it's just a simple checkbox, and you count through it once, and they keep track of how many uncast, and they know how many were printed at the beginning of the day. You just tally it up at the end. You have a fair indication of how the vote went that day.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? You're saying these are the paper ballots?
Yes, they are done by hand, and we'll be able to put them on the machine right here.
I have two right here.
Okay. And here,
Eight for Ron Paul.
yes.
If I remember correctly, it's very, very low property tax.
I count at least 12 Paul supporters here today, and 8 workstations. Well, I need to catch up on events at the State House just down the street, so I'm going to have to head out of here now. It's Dave Ridley signing out from the presidential recount in Concord, New Hampshire this January 30th, 2008. This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by Sakal, C-A-I. They're a company that does collection the whole new way. They know that not only do you want your money back, you want to keep your customers. Sakal, C-A-I. They collect with respect.